And good morning. It's Thursday morning. We're reading from Matthew 27, 57 through 66. When it was evening, there came a rich man from Arimathea named Joseph, who also was a disciple of Jesus. He went to Pilate and asked for the body of Jesus. Then Pilate ordered it be given to him. And Joseph took the body and wrapped it in a clean linen shroud and laid it in his own new tomb, which he had cut in the rock. And he rolled a great stone to the entrance of the tomb and went away. Mary Magdalene and the other Mary were there, sitting opposite the tomb. The next day, that is, after the day of preparation, the chief priests and the Pharisees gathered before Pilate and said, "Sir, we remember how that impostor said, while he was still alive, 'After 3 days I will rise.' Therefore order the tomb to be made secure until the 3rd day, lest his disciples go and steal him away, and tell the people he is risen from the dead, and the last fraud will be worse than the first." Pilate said to them, "You have a guard of soldiers. Go, make it as secure as you can." So they went and made the tomb secure by sealing the stone and setting a guard. Now, why would Matthew include all of this stuff? Well, we get a hint there toward the end of it. The enemies of Jesus are concerned that he will be proclaimed to have risen from the dead, and that will be a false tale. And so, obviously, what the supporters of Jesus have said since probably the 1st century is, well, you don't think he rose from the dead, show us his body. No one ever has shown that body. But usually when a person was crucified, the Romans, the upright post stayed there. And the post that went on the top of it or fixed to the front of it somehow, the cross part, that's what you carried up the hill. And that's what they nailed you to and then fitted it onto the post. So when they took all that apart and took you off of there when you were dead, they just threw your body down the hill. And you were eaten by the, coyotes and dogs and ravens and crows, buzzards, you were eaten by animals. So to be crucified and buried was a deal. That's a kind of a big thing. And Joseph of Arimathea is a fairly prominent, wealthy citizen who has access to Pilate, and he goes in there and says, "Hey, give me his body." Pilate says, "Sure, take it." And so Joseph wraps him properly and lays him in a new tomb. Now, the other thing that they did in those ancient times was when you died, they wrapped your body in some sort of a shroud or cloth and put spices in there, put it in the tomb, and waited for the body to decompose. And once your body had decayed and there was nothing left but the bones, then they would go in there and collect the bones, put them in a box, take the box somewhere else, clean off the tomb, and then they could reuse it. So this was a new tomb that no one's used yet, that Joseph has, and he puts Jesus in there. The Marys are outside, they're watching, they know exactly where he is, and they can come back after the Sabbath day and they can do a little bit better job of the burial and put some spices and things. And so that's their plan, and that's what we'll see that they do, or attempt to do. So Matthew includes all this so that we will understand that he was really dead, he was really buried, and he rose again because he's not there anymore, and that's the deal. That's the result. So what we could do, I think, today is we could remember Holy Saturday. It's a day that kind of gets skipped over in our liturgical preparations. It's always cracked me up a little bit that, on Good Friday afternoon, if you have a noon to 3 worship service, at 4 o'clock the ladies come in and change the paraments to white and put in the Easter lilies, and it's already Easter on Good Friday afternoon. Well, that's because that's the convenient way to do it. But what we should be doing on Saturday, Friday night and Saturday, is waiting with those disciples, waiting for the resurrection to come because we know it comes, but sitting with them as they are mourning and lamenting Jesus, and this is all, how could he have died, and this is over, and now what do we do? And they were really a dispirited group on that Saturday, and that's exactly where we are right now. So ponder that and ponder the resurrection. It's just an absolute miracle. How could a person rise from the dead? And yet he does. Thanks be to God. See you tomorrow.